The first Transformer to die fighting Unicron wasn't an Autobot. For anyone who grew up in the 80s and 90s, Scorponok was the villain. But the real Scorponok, the one who earned Optimus Prime's respect, never appeared on television. His story was hidden in the final Marvel comics. And it begins with issue 75. The title of issue 75 is On the Edge of Extinction. And Unicron is not the villain of a 70-minute animated feature. In these pages, he is something older, something almost incomprehensible, a dark god hovering directly over Cybertron, driving his claws into the planet's surface, sampling its metal, calling it succulent. The Transformers on the surface are not fighting. They are running. Every Autobot, every Decepticon, running. Shockwave runs his calculations. The conclusion is not a probability, it is a certainty. I am 100% certain that Cybertron and every Transformer on it is doomed. Not possibly, not probably, 100%. Inside the planet, Primus, the god who created the Transformers, takes one final act. Wearing the form of Emirate Zaron, an ancient Autobot leader, he reaches the two commanders still standing on the surface, Optimus Prime and Scorponok, ancient enemies. He begs them to unite their armies against the being he calls the Nemesis, warning that unless Autobot and Decepticon fight side by side, they face the end of everything. Primus does not simply charge at Unicron, he resorts to trickery, shutting down and drifting the last distance, letting Unicron believe he is weak enough to approach. He wraps Unicron in bonds of pure energy, trying to hold him. For one moment, it almost looks like it might work. It doesn't. Unicron feels the deception instantly. "You even had to resort to trickery to get this close," he says, "and these bonds cannot hold me." He tears free and destroys Primus where he stands, the creator of the Transformers, killed in the opening pages of the issue. And it wasn't even a fair fight. It was a trap that failed. The battle should have ended there. It doesn't. Someone, a lone warrior nobody on the ground can identify, fires everything they have directly at Unicron. It is not nothing. Unicron actually reacts, snarling out a single word. What? He calls the attacker a traitor, someone who has betrayed him for the last time, and destroys them instantly. But the damage is done. The other Decepticons watching don't even know who the warrior was. All they know is that his courage shames them into finally standing their ground. The war for Cybertron begins. And that is when Scorponok makes the decision that changes everything. This is that Scorponok, not the monster from Monday to Friday afternoons. The one who is about to earn a place he never expected. What almost nobody knows is that inside that body is a human being, Lord Zarek, bonded to the Decepticon through a process that fused them together. And when Optimus Prime himself falls in battle, broken and terrified, it is Prime who begs Scorponok, with his last strength, to take over, to carry the fight to Unicron. Zarek hesitates. "This isn't my war," he says. "I'm just a weak, flawed man." But then he asks himself one question. Can I do less than the real Scorponok would have done? And the answer changes everything. He charges Unicron, not with a plan, not with a weapon capable of stopping a planet eater. He charges with nothing but pure rage, gripping Unicron's frame, screaming, "I'll rip you to pieces with my bare claws, tear your circuits out with my teeth, and spit your diodes back at you. Die, Unicron." Unicron kills him. But there is a detail even stranger waiting on the next panel. After the fire, after the smoke clears, Scorponok, barely functional, every system failing, searches for one specific person. Not a fellow Decepticon, not one of his lieutenants. He finds Optimus Prime, and his last words are, "Did I do good?" Optimus Prime, the enemy he had fought across dozens of issues, looks down at him and answers, "Yes, old friend, you did good." Scorponok, the Decepticon commander, dies asking an Autobot if his life had meant something. And the Autobot tells him it did. The battle continues. Somewhere else in the chaos, there is a corrupted piece of the creation matrix itself, twisted by an evil force and hungry for revenge on a mass scale. And Unicron has to fight it off before he can crush it and hurl it away. Even the surviving Transformers are terrified of what it has become. If it destroys Unicron, one of them says, we will have to destroy the Matrix ourselves. That is how far things have fallen. None of it is enough on its own, but together, in the chaos, it buys Optimus Prime the moment he needs. He reaches the corrupted Matrix, and here is the part the cartoon could never show. The Matrix does not simply let him take it. It fights back, calling him the past, telling him it can control him. Prime has to overcome his own doubt first, has to trust that the goodness inside it will prevail before he can finally purge the darkness and take hold of it. Only then does he carry it himself, directly into Unicron's maw. His last words, "Today we end a battle begun eons ago. I thought you created us to die, Primus, to perish in your place. But now I understand. You created us to carry on after you are gone. You must die, Primus, so that all might live." Unicron explodes. Cybertron survives. Barely. This is where the animated series would have ended. Victory, celebration, roll credits. But here is what the cartoon never showed you. Prowl finds Grimlock and delivers the news. Optimus Prime has named him the new Autobot leader, and with it, Prime's code. We kill only as a last option, and then only to save other lives. Mercy and compassion are what set us apart from those we fight. Do you vow to uphold it? Grimlock's answer is one word, yes. But what is he actually inheriting? While the survivors count their dead, someone steals the Ark, carrying Autobots, only partially revived by an unstable new energy source called Nucleon, drifting in space with no one left to finish reviving them. Shockwave wants it back. It is the best trans-stellar transporter on Cybertron, he says, and something else is nagging at him. The tremors they keep feeling are more than aftershocks. If what I believe is true, he warns, we may have less time than we imagine. Elsewhere, Blaster Corners prowl about that same seismic activity. I don't think you're going to like what I've discovered, he says. Nobody explains what the discovery is, not yet. Grimlock leads a small group into the ruins when his body locks completely. The same Nucleon that revived the Autobots has done something to his own systems that cannot be reversed. Ancient creatures crawl out from beneath the surface, calling themselves beings sealed away by the Creator himself, claiming this world was theirs before it belonged to Cybertron's people. The Dinobots fight without their leader, and they are outnumbered. Then High Q arrives. He can see energy, an ability no other Nebulan possesses, and what he sees inside Grimlock is not damage. It is a chrysalis. He reaches into it to speed things along, except it isn't Grimlock's transformation he accelerates. It's his own. The Nucleon has accelerated his own metamorphosis, and it is happening without Prime to guide it. At almost the same moment, Grimlock's change completes. He tears through the creatures with a power he never had, grabs the last one, and is ready to end it. High Q stops him. Like Scorponok, he says, you walk the fine line between good and evil. Give in to hate and you lose. Part of you dies. But every time you stay the hand that slays, you win. Whatever shape it wears, it is still life. And life is the most precious thing of all. Grimlock lowers his fist. Then comes the price. His new power is permanent, and so is the loss. He can no longer transform, not even once. He is an action master now, more powerful than ever, locked forever into a single form, and he makes his vow as the new leader, right there in the wreckage. Me, Autobot, not Decepticon, but most of all, me leader. Me vow to protect life, always. The Ark is gone. Prime is silent. Grimlock cannot transform. And whatever blaster found buried beneath Cybertron still hasn't been named. Then one of the Dinobots turns to the small human figure standing nearby, half joking. You sounded just like old Optimus Prime. The answer isn't a joke at all. I am Optimus Prime. If this changed how you see an ending you thought you already knew, subscribe for the next video covering the final issues nobody ever talks about and the ending Simon Furman had to compress after Marvel canceled the series without warning. See you then.